It is being called to order. Time is 7 o'clock. Public portion of the meeting begins. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the rights of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the business administrator, board secretary, has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, communicated to the Hawthorne News, the record, and filed with the clerk of the borough of Hawthorne. Please join me for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Meeting regulations. During each regular meeting, 2 opportunities are provided for citizens to ask questions and to make comments. During the first opportunity, early in the agenda, the meeting is open to the public for the purpose of addressing items listed for approval on this agenda only. The second opportunity occurs just prior to adjournment, when citizens may address any subject matter that is pertinent to and or directly related to the operation of the school district. Persons wishing to speak must, upon being recognized, rise, state their name, address, and subject matter. Comments and questions shall be addressed to the board president or the presiding officer. It shall be limited to 5 minutes per person. The board may or may not respond to issues raised by members of the public at the time they are raised, or will provide response if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Please note that the board will not respond to comments regarding student or board employees in light of the privacy rights held by those individuals. Moreover, the board discourages comments about such individuals and will not be responsible for such comments. Members of the public who choose to speak during this public session should carefully consider their comments, since they could be held personally liable for any statements they make. Finally, please note that in accordance with the district policy, the board will not officially comment or respond to any matter mentioned unless it can confirm that the matter has first been brought to the attention of the appropriate school personnel in an attempt to resolve the issue. Roll call the outgoing Board of Education, please.
Mr. Carr.
Here.
Mr. Clavio.
Here.
Mr. Doyle.
Here.
Ms. Ehrentraut.
Here.
Ms. Mulkey Coulson.
Here.
Mr. Palouse.
Here.
Mr. Shortwave, absent. Mr. Totaro.
Here.
Mrs. Goff.
Here.
Thank you. We'll turn the meeting over to the floor to Ms. Murray for the reorganization.
Reorganization. Annual school election results from Tuesday, November 8th, 2024, not 2022. Official results are certified by Danielle Ireland Amhoff, Passaic County Clerk. Ms. Ehrentraut, total of 4,849. Mrs. Goff, a total of 4,590. And Ms. Vega, a total of 4,533 and 204 write-ins. We can now administer the oath of office. You want to do it in the front?
Yeah, go on. Go on. Say go on.
No, you need to read this all back. I'm going to just read it because you sign it while I'm done. I'm going to just repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and the governments established in the United States and this state under authority of the people. So help me God. Thank you.
Never do not pretend.
Ms. Hancock?
You don't want me to use the red.
The ethics also what we're doing.
Okay.
Roll call of incoming board members. Mr. Carr,
Yes.
Mr. Clavio,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut,
Yes.
Ms. Smokey Colton,
Yes.
Mr. Palouse,
Yes.
Mr. Totaro,
Yes.
Ms. Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Scott.
Yes.
Okay. I now call for a nomination for president.
I would like to nominate Mr. Marco Totaro. Second. Just a regular
Okay.
guy now.
Can I have a yes, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Oh, wait, why is it twice? Okay,
Maybe that's vice president?
no, vice president's the next
okay.
vote. Okay, never mind.
If there's a second nominee.
Maybe. That's right. Are there any others? No. Okay. Mr. Carr,
Yes.
Mr. Clavio,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut,
Yes.
Ms. Smokey Colton,
Yes.
Mr. Palouse,
Yes.
Mr. Totaro,
Abstain.
Ms. Vega,
Yes.
Mrs. Scott.
Yes. All right, buddy.
Okay.
You're all yours. Hey. It's nice to be just a regular gal over here.
All right, they have the floor now.
All right, with that, we'll do the election of the vice president. May we have a motion for vice president?
I have a
Which means
motion.
a nomination for vice president.
Nomination, I have a nomination. Mr. Alex Clavio, please.
A second.
That was Erica.
Eric. Any other nominations? Roll call, please.
Mr. Carr,
Yes.
Mr. Clavio,
Abstain.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut,
Yes.
Ms. Smokey Colton,
Yes.
Mr. Palouse,
Yes.
Mr. Totaro,
Yes.
Ms. Vega,
Yes.
Mrs. Scott.
Yes.
All right, thank you all.
R6, adoption of the Code of Ethics. Be resolved that the Board of Education adopt the Code of Ethics for school board members as per NJSA 18A:12-24.1 for the period January 7th, 2025 through January 6th, 2026. A school board member shall abide by the following Code of Ethics for school board members. I will uphold and enforce all laws, rules, and regulations of the State Board of Education and court orders pertaining to schools. Desired changes shall be brought about only through legal and ethical procedures. I will make decisions in terms of the educational welfare of children and will seek to develop and maintain public schools that meet the individual needs of all children regardless of their ability, race, creed, sex, or social standing. I will confine my board of action to policymaking, planning, and appraisal, and I will help to frame policies and plans only after the board has consulted those who will be affected by them. I will carry out my responsibility not to administer the schools, but together with my fellow board members, to see that they are all well-run. I will recognize that the authority rests with the Board of Education and will make no personal promises nor take any private action that comprise the board. F, I will refuse to surrender my independent judgment to special interests or partisan political groups or to use the schools for personal gain or for the gain of friends. G, I will hold confidential all matters pertaining to the schools which, if disclosed, would needlessly injure individuals or the schools. In all other matters, I will provide accurate information and in concert with my fellow board members, interpret to the staff the aspirations of the community for itself. H, I will vote to appoint the best qualified personnel available after consideration of the recommendation of the Chief Administrative Officer. I will support and protect the personnel and proper performance of their duties. J, I will refer all complaints to the Chief Administrative Officer and will act on the complaints at the public meetings only after failure of the administrative solution. And L, per 2001 C 178S5. Moving right along, we're going to go to, I'll just read off the titles of each section. R7, adoption of the school calendar for the 2025 school year through 2026. R8, the date and time of the board meetings. R9, the adoption of bylaws and policy manual. R10, the designation of official newspapers. R11, the bank depositories. R12, be resolved by the Hawthorne Board of Education, the facsimile signatures of President and Board of Education, school business administrators, and superintendent of schools be approved for all the use of warrants and checks authorized by Columbia Bank. R13, our attorney, Fogarty and Howard, Esquire. R14, award of contract for auditor services. R15, appointment of the architect. R16, alternate board secretary. R17, the reappointment of the representative of the Northeast Bergen County School Board Insurance Group. R18, award of the contract for risk manager. R19, appointment of qualified purchasing agent. R20, appointment of the public agency compliance officer. R21, reappointment of the representative Assembly Board of Directors for Northern Region Educational Services Commission. R22, adoption of petty cash fund. R23, appointment of the benefit agent. R24, appointment of the school medical examiner. On page 10, R25, fees for copies of public documents. R26, approval of electronic handbooks. R27, readoption of curriculum. R28, appointment of policy service provider. R29, the appointment of continuing disclosure agent. R30, the appointment of fixed asset appraisal firm. R31, appointment of the environmental consulting firm. R32, appointment of the affirmative action officer. Page 11, R33, the appointment of the following. Be resolved that the supervisor of building grounds be appointed as follows for the Hawthorne Public Schools for the period January 7th, 2025 through January 6th, 2026. Appointment of the asbestos management officer coordinator, appointment of the safety health designee, readoption of safety security plan, appointment of the indoor air quality designee, appointment of the integrated pest management coordinator and IPM plan, appointment of the right to know officer, appointment of the chemical hygiene officer and plan, and appointment of the AHARA coordinator. R34, appointment of the 504 committee coordinator. R35, the appointment of the ADA officer. R36, the appointment of the New Jersey Division of School Protection and Permanency Liaison, DCP&P. R37, appointment of the homeless liaison. R38, the approval of the liaison for missing and abused children. R39, the approval of the Title IX officer. Page 12, the R40, approval of the tax shelter annuities. R41, the approval of contracts joint services. R42, the approval of contracts joint services. R43, approval of contract joint services again. R44, approval of purchasing cooperatives. R45, the approval of observation evaluation tools. We're getting there. Page 13, R46, approval of parliamentary procedures. R47, the approval of doctrine of necessity. Page 14, R48, the approval of travel and related expense reimbursement. And lastly but not least, R49, the approval of guidance for standard operating procedures and internal controls for the 24-25 school year. Be resolved that the Hawthorne Board of Education approve the guide for standards operating procedures for the internal controls 24-25 school year. On behalf of the committee, I so move.
Second.
Alex. Roll call.
Okay. Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clivio?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Erentraut?
Yes.
Ms. Mobley Coulson?
Yes.
Mr. Palooz?
Yes.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Ms. Vega?
Yes.
Mrs. Duff?
Yes.
Prior to public to be heard, I just want to state on behalf of the board and administration, we want to extend our sincere thanks to Jay Shortway on his 3 years of dedicated service as a trustee on the Hawthorne Board of Education. Your commitment and contributions have been greatly appreciated and have made a lasting impact on our district. We're also very excited to welcome back Abby Goff and Jennifer Erentraut to the Board of Education. Additionally, we extend our warm welcome to our newest trustee, Giselle Vega. We look forward to your leadership and collaboration, continuing to support our schools and community. Thank you for all your dedication to the success of the Hawthorne School District. That being said, public be heard. As a reminder, when submitting questions or comments via email, please be sure to include your first and last name, address, and your question. Anybody? Public be heard? Paul?
No thing to sign in, what do I do?
Sorry.
Do I just say
We
my?
got it. We'll record it here, Paul.
Okay. Paul Dewar, 54 Mooney Ave, MAWHINNEY. Hi, congratulations, Marco.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. I just had a quick question. Now that I'm no longer a student, I'm sure the process might be a little bit different for this, but I'd like to make another donation. I have a couple of old instruments I want to give, but I'm not sure what to do as far as the process of giving them to the board. I want to give them to the high school band.
To the high school band. So you can literally just drop them off at the high school, and then we'll record it, and we'll actually accept it as a donation on our next agenda, on January 21st, on our board agenda. So first of all, I want to say thank you, but yeah, you can just drop them off at the school. Like I said, they'll record what it is, approximate cost. If you know what the approximate cost of those are, that'd be great. And like I said, we'll accept it on our next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Anyone else? Public be heard? All right, with that, a motion to adjourn the reorganization meeting.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Clivio?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yep.
Ms. Erentraut?
Yes.
Ms. Mobley Coulson?
Yes.
Mr. Palooz?
Yes.
Mr. Totaro?
Yes.
Ms. Vega?
Yes.
And Mrs. Goff?
Yes. First time